In the Big East game of the week, next. To bounce back from a tough loss to UConn earlier in the week. It's the Golden Eagles and the Mountaineers in the Big East game of the week, next. Welcome inside the Bradley Center. Last night, the home of the Milwaukee Bucks. This afternoon, the home of the Golden Eagles of Marquette as they roll out the welcome mats for the Mountaineers of West Virginia. 9 of the top 25 teams in the country from the Big East. Syracuse at 15-1, cracks the top 10 coming in at number 9. You see Pittsburgh undefeated at 14-0. They are number 1 in the country. And at the bottom there, you see West Virginia coming in at number 22. They cracked the polls on January 5th. Hi, everybody, along with Mike Kelly, the former captain of Wisconsin and the one-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. I'm Mike Gleason. Great to have you with us for the Big East game of the week. And, Mike, it should be a good one today. Two clubs that really parallel each other. Neither has the big presence in the post, and they both have guys who can score, but there is a little bit difference.
The story of this game is going to be the differences. Marquette averages over 80 a game. West Virginia only gives up 56 a game. So if it's played faster, it's in favor of Marquette. If it's played slower, in favor of West Virginia.
You look at the Star Watch today. Alex Ruoff leading the Mountaineers with 17 a game. Wesley Matthews at 19 a game. 10 for 10 against Rutgers. Doesn't get much better than that. But how about Ruoff? He is tough coming off the screen.
Well, both of these guys are great scorers. And you watch Alex Ruoff play. Everybody knows he's a great three-point shooter. Yes, but what he's added to his game is the ability to put it on the floor, get in the lane, draw some fouls. And when he does that, what it opens up is even more three-point shooting. He's deadly from beyond the arc. And for Marquette, it's Wesley Matthews. In his senior year, he has come on so strong, added an element to his game, that confidence and the ability to get into the lane. He's got great size as a guard. He gets in there, he gets to the line, and he can finish at the rim with his great athleticism.
Well, Marquette's riding a 6-game winning streak. They're trying to get to 4-0 in Big East play. West Virginia, 13 of the 26 wins last year came on the road. They need one here this afternoon, or they'll drop to 1-2. Lineups in the tip coming up.
Nobody gives you more power than Interstate Batteries. And we have a national warranty program with over 200,000 dealers to back it up. How do we make them so powerful? Now that's a secret. Get the battery with more power in it and the most power behind it. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
You're in the market, but what do you want your numbers to add up to? Maybe a time-tested way to help reach your financial goals. At Oppenheimer Funds, we follow proven principles, like investing for the long term, so you can ride out the market's ups and downs, and perhaps end up with the second career you've always wanted.
Call your advisor for prospectus with complete fund information. Read it carefully and carefully consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, and expenses before investing.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Today's Big East game is brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. And by Interstate Batteries, over 200,000 dealers nationwide. Find one at interstatebatteries.com. Al McGuire hanging up there in the rafters here at the Bradley Center. Marquette 14-2, West Virginia 11-3. Let's take a look now at our starting lineups, brought to you by Interstate Batteries. And first of all, for the Mountaineers of West Virginia, we mentioned Ruoff is the leading scorer. Right behind is Deshaun Butler. Two rookies in that starting lineup, of course. Devin Ebanks and Truck Bryant, the point guard. He keeps coming on. He's averaging 3 assists now. And, of course, 4 guys averaging double figures here. Leading scorer Matthews, but Lazar Hayward, he's climbing up the list as far as rebounds as well. But Dwight Burke giving him some unexpected mileage scoring at Rutgers, Mike.
Well, anything they get from Burke is just considered a bonus for Marquette.
And today's officials, Jim Burr, Joe Lindsay, John Gaffney wearing the striped shirts, blowing the whistles, and this ball game is underway. The opening tip is controlled by West Virginia. This is Truck Bryant, the freshman. His minutes keep climbing up. Of course, Joe Mazzulla over on the bench with that shoulder problem. And, Mike, they've got to make a decision coming up on Mazzulla probably by next Wednesday, huh?
Well, they're getting to a point where if they use him after Wednesday is when they won't be able to medical redshirt him, but the decision actually doesn't have to come until at the end of the year.
This is Bryant with his step back. Doesn't go. Rebound by Hayward. Dominique James with the basketball. Dominique James really has improved his game. Deep outside. McNeil misses the shot, and it's pulled down by Deshaun Butler.
Fortunate miss for West Virginia there as Jarrell McNeil had an open look. West Virginia, great defensive team at guarding the three-point shots, holding opponents down to 30% from three. Watch West Virginia working their half-court offense. They call it an open post offense.
Nice look inside. Bryant, he's stripped. Dominique James with the steal. He came into the ball game with 29, so he has 30 now. No look pass goes out of bounds. Last touch by West Virginia. It stays on this end. How about Mike Kelly's keys to the game?
Well, for West Virginia, offensive rebounding. They are so good at getting to the glass. They have to do that in this game, and then defending the paint. Marquette loves to get in there. For Marquette, transition points, if they can get out, get some easy shots, and then three-point shooting. This Marquette team can get very hot. I saw them against a Cincinnati team, a good defensive Cincinnati team. They went 15 of 25 from beyond the arc.
Series tied at 3-3, Mike. Baseline drive and the kick into the corner. This is McNeil. And here comes Bryant now with a steal for West Virginia. They've got numbers. Ruoff misses the layup, but he's going to the line after the foul by Hayward. That'll be his first. And Bob Huggins in his second year, 27th overall. Already signed a 10-year extension after his 26 wins last year. On the other side, Buzz Williams in his first season. Of course, Buzz coached against Coach Huggins when Buzz was at Texas A&M as an assistant, and Huggins was at Kansas State for that one season.
Well, Huggins, such a legend, and Buzz Williams, I enjoy listening to Buzz Williams talk about being in this conference with all the legendary coaches. He said, I don't think I'm going to get any calls this year. It's going to take me a while.
Well, there certainly are enough legendary coaches. I like what Buzz Williams said. He has to monitor himself. He has to improve each game. If he doesn't do it, that means his team is stagnating. Hayward doesn't go. Here come the Mountaineers. They don't have the numbers. Truck Bryant tries to penetrate. He is stripped. Yep, it's fouled.
You've seen West Virginia get out in transition. This time they didn't get the points. You watch Truck Bryant here come down the lane. See, this is how he got his nickname, bowling people over. He was a young kid.
He was 11 years old.
Played in a tournament and was knocking guys over like that, and the PA announcer started to call him Truck.
Well, he said he was a big kid, too. And we'll talk more about that as far as getting in the weight room. Larry Harrison, the assistant coach at West Virginia, had some funny thoughts on some of these kids getting in the weight room. They don't want to be there at first, but once they start seeing some definition, they start taking off their shirts and standing in front of the mirror, then you know you have them.
There you go. That's our old weight coach used to say, curls for the girls. We got to get the guys to do more than just the curls.
There's Eric Martin, Larry Harrison on his right there with right there, Larry Harrison. Gave us some good information this week. We appreciate that. It goes out of bounds. That last foul went against Alex Ruoff, his first. You know, last year, after looking at some tape, Bob Huggins in his first year looking at this athletic Marquette team, he went on a triangle and two, and they pulled out the victory in Morgantown. This is Matthews. Deep in the corner, doesn't go. McNeil with the spin. And Jerome McNeil gets his first bucket.
What a player he is. He's got such great confidence, and I love his athleticism inside. He's able to use his body, shield the defender. And you mentioned the triangle and two, Mike. I thought that was one of the best coaching decisions I saw all last year. In fact, I was surprised more coaches didn't try the triangle and two against Marquette after the success that West Virginia had.
Well, he said he was watching a lot of tape, called some of his coaching buddies, and decided to go with that triangle two. And Buzz Williams, you know, you talk to all the Marquette players at Media Day, and it's funny how they said he wants to win as much as anybody, but they all talk about his character. They really like this guy personally.
Yeah, that's the neat thing. And at the end of the day, this is just a game, but when you've got great players and great coaches and they're great people, that's the thing that makes everything worthwhile.
Baseline drive doesn't go. Ebanks, the freshman. Young man already with 3 double-doubles. Back-to-back earlier in the season for West Virginia.
Fun to watch him move with the basketball. For a big guy, he can really handle it.
There's another whistle on a foul down in the lane. And this one goes against Dwight Burke. That's going to be number 1 on Burke. Top of the show, looking at the lineups, we talked about Burke. He had 15 shots in 15 games, Mike, and then he goes 4 for 4 at Rutgers.
Well, you know, he knows what to do when he gets to the ball. The thing, his role in this offense, they've got 4 great scorers. So obviously he can score. He just realizes his role is to get on the glass, play great defense, and as I said, any points are bonus from him.
Deshaun Butler misfires, and the rebound's pulled down by Wellington Smith, who could be the best athlete on the team. Deshaun Butler outside. Who's the closest thing to Joe Alexander on this roster right now, Mike?
It's got to be Deshaun Butler. I see his size. He may not be as athletic as Joe Alexander, but certainly he's got the versatile game to be just like him.
Butler off the dribble, baseline, doesn't go, misses again, and there's the whistle. And the foul that goes against West Virginia, John Flowers.
Wow, do they crash the boards? You watch this West Virginia team. I saw Cincinnati play, and I thought they were a great offensive rebounding team. And West Virginia even gets more per game, almost 17 a game. They just crash it so hard. And the other thing, you talk about a scheme. This West Virginia team playing the open post offense, that creates angles for guys to crash the glass at. You're not just having big bodies standing around where they can be boxed out. Instead, you've got guys crashing from the three-point line.
I'm glad you brought that up. The open post. Wellington Smith said he'd like to shoot more threes when he came onto campus, but he's learning how to attack the basket. Ebanks trying to get to the... In just a second, we'll have you explain more in depth the open post to our viewers. This is Dominic James. 2 years ago, 21.6 assists as Marquette won here. West Virginia, of course, winning last year in Morgantown. There's the foul down on the baseline. It goes against West Virginia.
The second time McNeil got an open look. Another breakdown defensively by West Virginia, allowing him to be open, but he's missed both of them.
Deshaun Butler picks up his first foul.
Butler got in foul trouble against UConn. Cost him some minutes. Very close game, a game West Virginia, I know they thought they could win at home.
Jimmy Butler, hop, skip, and a jump. He had 9 points. And Rutgers, that's a rejection. You look at West Virginia.
Bodies everywhere.
Everywhere. That's life in the Big East, isn't it? Now, I was going to say West Virginia, you think of UConn and Rutgers as the shot blocking team, but West Virginia, not bad at blocking shots.
No, they're not the biggest team, but they're very active, very athletic team, and they're long. And then it comes down to great defense, being in good position to get a block shot.
Just under 5 blocks. That's 5th in the Big East. John Flowers down on the baseline. In and out, back in again. Flowers has his first bucket.
I like Flowers' game. He's a great team player. That's what the coaches love about him, is he'll give them whatever they need. He comes in, can give them points, rebounds, play some defense.
Jimmy Butler averaged 18 in junior college. Boy, Buzz Williams can get more production out of him offensively, and I think it's coming, right? I mean, the fact that he scored 9 at Rutgers. We're going to take a timeout here from the Bradley Center. As you see, 15-10 to go. West Virginia 4. Marquette with just 2 on the board.
We've got a ton of stuff we've got to pay for.
And a few things we want to pay for.
On top of it all, we're still trying to put away some money for the future. With the wish list, we can save up for anything we want.
And still have enough to cover the day-to-day. Plus, the savings engine helps our money grow.
And that's something we need and want.
Introducing the Virtual Wallet from PNC, a high-definition online view of your money. PNC, leading the way.
In the islands, tropical flavors bring out the best in fresh seafood. At Red Lobster, we're bringing new island-inspired entrees to you, like tender wood-grilled Caribbean rock lobster and shrimp, brushed with a sweet and spicy glaze. New Hawaiian Isle shrimp and salmon, and new wood-grilled citrus rum shrimp and scallops, flame-seared to seal in the juices. Wood grilling and the flavors of the islands, a whole new way to love seafood. For a limited time at Red Lobster.
There are some things only a truck can do. When you need one, you need one. But when you choose one, know this: Toyota quality saves money. Toyota trucks are so well made, they cost less to own than any other trucks in their classes. And now, special financing and leases make it surprisingly easy to get into a new Tundra or a new Tacoma. See your Toyota dealer now to start saving now. Toyota, a great way to keep moving forward.
Now it's too late to think about what you could have done, what you should have done, what you didn't know. You see, when African American mothers prepare for a healthy pregnancy by eating nutritious meals, eliminating harmful habits, and attending regularly scheduled doctor visits, infant mortality rates significantly decrease, and the chance for a healthy start significantly increases with strong, committed adult parents.
A Life Point brought to you by Milwaukee Health Services.
15-10 to go before halftime. A low-scoring game here, 4-2. We'll talk about that pace in a second, but let's check the Big East news and notes right now. See 9 Big East teams ranked in the top 25, as we said at the top of the broadcast, and Pittsburgh rolling at 14-0, Mike.
It is so incredible, the depth of the quality in this conference. I mean, we're watching 2 top 25 teams play, and you've got so much talent out there top to bottom in this league that just getting through it's going to be a grinder.
You know, 5 teams still unbeaten in conference play, and again that brings me back to Pittsburgh at 14-0, and you wonder how long they will stay unbeaten at number 1 because they're playing in this conference.
Well, you got to like the way they play. I mean, this is a Pittsburgh team. The one thing I'll say about them is I think a lot of people nationally think they're a slow it down, grind it out defensive team, and while they play great defense, they are incredible offensively. They play so well. They're so efficient that while maybe it's not a high-paced game, a lot of possessions, they make the most out of every possession.
How about Dwan Blair? 9 double-doubles already, and we're just rolling into January.
He's a beast.
Yeah, equal opportunity. Yeah, Luke Herringody also with 9 at Notre Dame. Should mention that as well. Here we go. How about the pace of this game, Mike? 4-2 right now.
And you got to think it favors West Virginia. The only problem right now is foul trouble. West Virginia with 6 already. Deshaun Butler and Truck Bryant both with 2.
Matthews, the little runner. Now the whistle, this one's going against Marquette.
Great protection of the lane there by West Virginia. You saw everybody packed in, all 5 blue jerseys inside the pack, making Marquette shoot over you. I think that's the key to beating this Marquette team, either playing the zone or playing a man-to-man defense in which you don't let them get in the lane.
McNeil. He had 76 steals the last 2 years. He's 29 now from the school record with that steal. Dominique James with his eyes on becoming the all-time scoring leader at Marquette.
Looks like a zone here from West Virginia.
McNeil, corner, doesn't go.
Another open look. That's a 3rd open look for McNeil. He cannot hit from the left side.
Notice Truck Bryant with 2 fouls. He's on the bench as Deshaun Butler picks up his first bucket. He comes in averaging just under 16. That's his first, but he has 2 as well.
Well, with Missoula out, this West Virginia team very thin at the guard position. When Truck Bryant goes to the bench, that means Ruoff or Deshaun Butler have to handle the rock.
And not only Bryant, a freshman, but like Mike says, if he goes down, he's really the only true point guard with Missoula out. Dominique James, one of the top point guards in the Big East. Probably forced that one a little bit down on the baseline.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what West Virginia's playing defensively. It looks like a zone. Might be a triangle and 2 like they did last year, though.
How about the spin by Wellington Smith, his first bucket, and again the coaching staff saying he might be the most athletic player on the team.
Well, he's so athletic, and I love the way he works with the basketball. Very nice spin move there.
He's working hard on attacking the basket. The coach is trying to tell him that his mid-range game is probably his best weapon.
Great hands.
Smith with the steal. Dominic James gets it right back for Marquette. Little stutter step and a drive to the bucket, lays it off, and Dominic James gets his first basket.
How quick is Dominic James? What a great job getting in the passing lane. That's the one thing about Dominic James' game. He has added, I think he's a better playmaker, creating for his teammates this year, and his defense has been sensational.
You know, his shooting numbers, of course, average-wise, down a little bit last year, but people said he had an off season. He was 2nd team All-Big East, but his percentages were actually a little bit better last year. So from your vantage point, where was he off, if he was off at all last season?
Well, he can be streaky from the perimeter. When you watch his outside shot, he jumps very high, and I think that makes him prone to getting very hot and sometimes very cold from outside.
He was telling you at media day he's not the best 3-point shooter, but he doesn't shy away from it, does he? McNeil, that's an air ball. You look at Marquette, 10 threes against Villanova, 15 against Cincinnati, just 2 for 13 against Rutgers. But Dominic James taking it inside.
And it's the stop-and-go ability. You watch him play. I mean, this is just a hesitation move here. Able to get the defense off balance. Nice job, actually. That's Deshaun Butler with 2 fouls. Smart move by him not to challenge that shot and pick up his 3rd.
And Buzz telling us that Dominic James probably playing his best defense in his 4 years here.
Did a nice job on Scotty Reynolds when they played Villanova. Did a great job against Deontay Vaughn. A nice job against Mike Rosario in their last game at Rutgers, too.
Yeah, those 3 sharpshooters, just 5 for 24 from 3-point territory. Over the last 3 games, that's 21%. 4 on the shot clock for Marquette. 2, James pulls the trigger, and the offensive rebound goes to Marquette. Doesn't go, Hayward comes up with a basketball and a brand new 35-second shot clock.
Give credit to Jimmy Butler that time, keeping the possession alive.
17-footer
McNeil's got 4. That might be what McNeil needed to get going. His shot has not looked good from outside the arc. Of course, this is the same Jarrell McNeil that went 7 for 7 against Cincinnati. He can stroke it from out there.
7 for 7. He's 58% over the 6-game winning streak for Marquette from long range. That's a pretty hot hand. You know, both these two teams move the ball very well on offense, and both playing a very stiff defense right now. It goes out of bounds. We're going to take a timeout as we take a look at Jarrell McNeil, the Big East Player of the Week. Coming off the 2, he's got 4. He has been red hot. 6 20-point games.
What was the first thing your husband said to you that morning?
He looked at me and said, "Susan, where am I?"
And why was that upsetting for you?
My name is Diane.
I need that lawyer. Give me a lawyer. I didn't kill anybody. I'm not a killer.
Crazy times call for crazy fun. Plan your escape at visitlasvegas.com.
Don't pay another mortgage payment or maintenance fee on your timeshare. Turn it into cash. Call Timeshares Only.
We got rid of those maintenance fees.
Thanks, Timeshares Only, for making it so easy.
At Timeshares Only, you'll find properties from the biggest names in the industry. If you want to buy, sell, or rent, call now.
No more mortgage payments, no more maintenance fees.
Thanks, Timeshares Only.
Call Timeshares Only and get your free information kit with our insider secrets to buying, selling, and renting timeshares, plus receive a free $100 gift card. Our thousands of satisfied customers have made us the largest resale marketplace in the world. Call Timeshares Only now.
Your free information kit with our 10 secrets on selling your timeshare is waiting. The over $5 billion sold in the past 6 months proves now could be the best time to sell. Call Timeshares Only today. Thank us tomorrow.
Call Timeshares Only now and get your free information kit. Turn your timeshare into cash and never pay another mortgage payment, maintenance fee, or tax bill again. Don't wait. Call now.
Call 800-314-0762. That's 800-314-0762. Call 800-314-0762 now.
Welcome back to the Bradley Center. 8-6 West Virginia on top of number 15 Marquette with 11:18 to go in the first half. And today's Big East Coaches Spotlight is brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds. So let's take a closer look now at Coach Buzz Williams of Marquette, who once swept floors at Navarro College just to break into this business. And here he is, the head coach at Marquette now.
It's a similar story you hear all the time. Coaches, the only way to get into this profession, you got to work your way up. And Buzz Williams has certainly done that. He's fun to watch. You go to his practices, you go to his shoot-arounds. High energy guy, very fun out there. His players are having fun, clapping hands, and I always say it's not what you run, it's how you run it. As Buzz Williams' team focused on trying to make sure they do the little things well to make themselves successful.
And Mike, of course, the W's are very important, but he said he's more worried about his players as husbands and fathers 10 years from now than he is right now in college as Deshaun Butler steps back and hits a 2. He's got 4 in the game.
Well, when we ask the players about their coach and they mention his character, I think that's where you see it. When you've got a coach that's more worried about them as husbands and fathers than as players, and they feel that from him. That's why they've got such great respect for him.
Marquette comes in shooting 47% from the floor and struggling now, Mike. 3 for 17, 0 for 6 from three-point territory. This is a 2 if it goes, and it does. I guess there's always one guy of those 3 that can step up and ignite the offense.
Yeah, and you throw Lazar Hayward in that mix as well as a big guy being able to pull the defender away from the basket. But I give West Virginia credit right now. They are controlling this game and the pace at which it's been played.
Deshaun Butler, and there's the foul on McNeil. It's going to be a three-shot foul as Deshaun Butler was looking for his 19th three-pointer of the year.
Those are a killer. As a defender, you've got to close out under control. You watch McNeil here coming off the screen, chasing his man. Just got a little too close. Actually looked to me like he was under control on the closeout. Just got a little sloppy with his hand up and got in the face of Butler.
Joe Alexander, last year's All-American who now plays for the Milwaukee Bucks, says this young man, Deshaun Butler, was probably the most underrated player in college basketball last year. Obviously, he's a little bit biased, but pretty close to it. This guy's a pretty good ball player.
Maybe a little biased. These guys were in town last night. The Bucks played, as you mentioned. Joe Alexander, unfortunately, didn't get in, and that was a bit of a disappointment, but I know it was nice just for the team to see him and get to reconnect.
Well, he's a rookie, still going through the growing pains, but I was still a little bit surprised he didn't get some time from Scott Skiles as Butler.
Come on, Coach Skiles, get him in the game. Get him a few minutes.
Butler, 75%, only hits 1 of 3 that time. And the Mountaineers go up by 3, 11-8.
And watch Marquette work on offense. They want to get paint touches. Not often do they get a guy with his back to the basket, but they want to dribble in the lane.
Hayward knocks his man down high off the window. That's his first basket. He comes in averaging just under 17.
And Mike, that's a perfect example. Hayward, not the biggest four-man, but he certainly can post up. He got pushed out so far that by the time he got it, he just faced up and drove into the lane.
Next break in the action, I want to talk to you about not only his shooting prowess over the last couple of years. That is a 3-ball by Deshaun Butler, his 19th. He has 8 now all of a sudden. Slow start for him, but he is starting to heat up. And I want to talk about the strength of Hayward, how he has improved in the weight room. It is phenomenal. Dominic James, hop, skip, and a jump, doesn't go. Butler with a rebound. There's Bob Huggins saying Ruoff and Butler, they can live with one of those guys struggling, but they need one of those two. If they don't score, it's big-time trouble for them, right?
Well, absolutely. And so often, especially in the college game, guys get into different roles, and certainly Ruoff and Butler are their 2 scorers, their go-to guys. Can't afford to have both of them with an off night.
Last bucket by Wellington Smith. Ruoff says they're a different team when Smith plays well on the offensive end.
Watch the great help defense by West Virginia. All 5 guys with their eye on the basketball, not just trying to stop their man from scoring, but trying to stop everyone from getting in the lane. It's the only way you can defend Marquette with all 5 people.
And it goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay on this end.
Well, Lazar Hayward, you mentioned it. What a great player he is, in the strength in the weight room, the fact that he's been able to get stronger. He's an undersized four-man. I mean, that's his role. He's got to be able to use that, the fact that he's smaller, but he's quicker than most guys that are guarding him. So he can go out to the perimeter. He can put the ball on the floor. He's very crafty with the dribble. That's what he does to his advantage.
Deep 3, ring it up.
There you go.
Number 22, Jerome McNeil. That's number 38 for him. He's got 9.
It was bound to happen. Jerome McNeil cold to start the game. Missed his first 4 threes, but you knew at some point he was going to bury one.
Wow, he was deep on that one. I guess when he's feeling it, he's feeling it. How about 7 for 7, as you mentioned, and Matthews goes 10 for 10 against Rutgers, and Butler now looks like he's almost asking for the ball. He's feeling it too.
Well, that's what shooters have to do. I think you watch a UConn game, and Alex Ruoff went too far between shots, and Butler right now feeling it. He's going to try and continue to work, get that ball inside and stay hot.
Butler, the junior from Newark, scoring, and seems like he's pulling down every rebound for the team in the gold and blue.
An open post offense. Nobody down low, posting up, giving themselves lanes to dribble in.
Ebanks off the dribble, doesn't go.
Butler again.
Ruoff. Yes. Counting for 3 more. Ruoff, that's number 39 for him.
Deshaun Butler is looking at the bench saying, please give me a rest right now. He has done everything, as you mentioned, rebound, scoring, that time with a great offensive board and the assist to Ruoff. He needs a break, though. He is dragging.
You were talking about Hayward a couple of minutes ago, going from 21% to 45% from 3, but how about his weight? Benching 240 up to 319, squatting 330 up to 440. And Dominic James, I'm going to say, doing a little chin-up inside. Dominic James with 4, but when's the last time you did a chin-up? Hayward's gone from 8 chin-ups to 28 in 1 year. You try doing 28 chin-ups.
No, thank you.
That is tough. 21-15. Butler still on the floor. Wellington Smith, that's what he liked to do coming into West Virginia, shoot that 3. And the whistle goes against the Mountaineers. It's Devin Ebanks picking it up. Alex Ruoff said he missed the last 3 shots of the game against UConn, and that really hung with him. But right now he's got 5 and 38 threes.
Nobody gives you more power than Interstate Batteries. And we have a national warranty program with over 200,000 dealers to back it up. How do we make them so powerful? That's a secret. Get the battery with more power in it and the most power behind it. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
I've never been all that great with my money, probably because I've never had much. But now that I'm making more, it's time to be a little smarter about how I manage it. With the calendar, I can schedule all my payments, so when funds are low, danger days help me stay out of the red. I can also transfer money with just a click and a drag. So maybe I'm better with money than I thought.
Introducing the Virtual Wallet from PNC, a high-definition online view of your money. PNC, leading the way.
I couldn't believe how much I was paying for health insurance before, but Mega specializes in affordable health insurance for families and for people like me who don't get health insurance where we work.
Stop struggling to figure out how you can get affordable health insurance. If you're one of 45 million Americans without it, call the number on your screen right now to get affordable health insurance with the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company.
I was struggling to find affordable health insurance for my family. What appealed to me about Mega is that I could tailor a plan that fit our needs, as well as our budget.
I'm responsible for providing health insurance for my family. I worked hard, and I deserve a company that works hard for me. Mega, they saved me time and money. They got the coverage I needed at the price I could afford.
Mega has been America's solution for affordable health insurance for over 20 years. To get a plan that's tailored to fit your needs, call the number on the screen right now.
Do what we did. Call today.
And we're back inside the Bradley Center. Marquette, one of 6 Big East teams with 4 returning starters trailing in the ball game, 21-15. Let's take a look at Mike Kelly's best of. Let's start in the backcourt with the guards.
This was so impossible to come up with a list. This is like asking a parent, who's your favorite child? You look at all these guys, and I mean, everybody's great in their own way. Levance Fields is one of my favorites. I love the way he handles the game, distributes for his teammates. Jarrell McNeil, we're getting a chance to watch him right now. McElharney can shoot. Once he steps in the gym, Johnny Flynn, I like the progression Johnny Flynn has made to this year, and of course, at the end there.
Well, here's a question here from John Kay in Fairmont, West Virginia. Who else would you include among your best of the guards, and why are there no West Virginia players on that list? Well, you don't have to answer that now, Mike. You can think about it, but it's a pretty good question. Now, if you have a question or comment about Big East basketball for Mike, you can email him at kellyscorner@espnplus.com. He'll answer them during the Big East Game of the Week. For schedule and station listings, go to www.espnplus.com, and Mike will answer that question in the second half. And that is tough, isn't it? I noticed Dominic James was in that top 5.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You got to pick 5, and you end up leaving out so many great players. I didn't get to finish with Scotty Reynolds. He was 40 points the other night.
Yeah.
Just incredible. 15 free throws. He certainly knows how to score.
His second 40-point night of his career since arriving on Jay Wright's team. Jimmy Butler knocks down 2 from the stripe. He's a 72% shooter.
Here comes the press from Marquette. A little 1-2-2.
Another steal by McNeil. We may get that record here today. Hayward steps outside. He's been struggling a little bit with his outside shot, Mike. Earlier in the year, they said the team took a vote, and they said he is the best shooter.
Well, I tell you what, Hayward is an excellent shooter, but I want to go back to McNeil. That steal he had, I mean, that is a simple pass trying to go over the top of the point man in the 1-2-2 zone, and Jarrell McNeil is so long. He's got such great anticipation. It is a joy to watch. As a defender, you watch him and you just marvel at his ability to get in the passing lane.
Yeah, that anticipation. That's the operative word there in that zone trap.
Such a hard thing to teach. People always want to know what makes a great defender, and yes, it's working hard at it, but that anticipation is something that I think you're just born with.
West Virginia 1-1 in the Big East, coming off a 61-55 loss to UConn. They shot 30%, Mike, and they were in it. They had a couple of buckets there, and they got killed on the boards. So light up another 3 for Deshaun Butler. He's got 13 now.
He got his rest. He's ready to go. How about this? West Virginia playing without Truck Bryant. He only got 3 minutes, the first 3 minutes of this game, and now he's down with foul trouble. Credit West Virginia. These guys stepping up, handling the basketball very well, other than that turnover against the press. Deshaun Butler finding ways to score.
I called the Marquette-Rutgers game, Mike, and I think Marquette, over the last couple of years, probably made the extra pass better than any college team I've seen in a while. Marquette trying to take it to the rack. And Cam Thurlman picks up his first foul. Golf fans and golf pros, registration for the 2009 ESPN National Golf Challenge is ready underway. Courses and teams in the gross, net, and new 55 and older senior division. For more information, log on to ESPNGolf.com.
You know, Glee, you bring up a good point. This Marquette team very good at sharing the basketball, and what that comes with, you've got 3 senior guards that have played with each other for 4 years. They all have great ability, but when you've got veteran players that have played together, you start to get a sixth sense for where they're going to be on the floor when you see a guy driving to the lane. For instance, Marquette against NC State comes down to the last possession. Dominique James with the basketball, and you talked to Jarrell McNeil, and he said he saw the look in Dominique's eye and knew he was going to take the shot. It was a busted play. It ended up not working, and so what McNeil did, and you can watch the tape, once he saw that look in Dominique James' eye, he just dove to the basket to try to get a rebound. Fortunately for Marquette, Dominique James made the shot, but that's the type of thing you don't get from freshmen. You get that with fourth-year seniors.
Marquette 7-24, so not only experience, but that chemistry is so important. Ruoff, the only senior on this West Virginia team, which Bob Huggins brought up after the loss to UConn. He says we have one senior and we have guys 6'6" trying to guard 7'3" guys, and quickly. It's like the old Michigan State team is coming down very quickly. Huh?
Just pull the ball right out of the rim, and that's the amazing thing. The best transition teams, they can score in transition, whether it's a missed shot or a made shot. A lot of teams can score off of misses, but you know you're really good when you can get it out of the rim and up and beat the team down the floor.
Big East viewers wondering why I'm mentioning Michigan State. Of course, you played at Wisconsin. I thought I would push your buttons a little bit there.
Yeah, please don't mention Michigan State anymore. I had enough of them.
Butler off the screen. A little bit too strong that time. Dominique James was up with a rebound. Coming up a nice game of Rutgers. 15 points, 6 assists, 1 turnover. Ring up 2 more for Dominique James. He's got 8 points now.
Yeah, he's playing in rhythm. You watch him out there right now. He's got that look in his eye. He's within himself, but he's playing in rhythm, playing a little bit quicker. This pace now favoring Marquette.
Big Mo making the shift. He's on West Virginia side early on. 26-23, 3-point game. Ruoff, baseline. Well, this Marquette crowd has really gotten into the ball game the last minute or so. Dominique James, little runner down the lane, doesn't go. Offensive stick back, does. Patrick Hazel. (26-25). Marquette on an 8-2 run.
This is where West Virginia misses their point guard, Chuck Bryant.
Flowers misses, then a rebound by Hayward.
Crowd getting into it. It's when you need your point guard out there to slow things down.
No look. Butler. Thought he had and one, but he's going to the line shooting 2. Flowers picks up his second. Dominique James with the miss. But hey, everybody's getting into the action. Patrick Hazel, the sophomore for Queens, with the stick bag.
You're in the market, but what do you want your numbers to add up to? Maybe a time-tested way to help reach your financial goals. At Oppenheimer Funds, we follow proven principles, like investing for the long term, so you can ride out the market's ups and downs, and perhaps end up with the second career you've always wanted.
Call your advisor for prospectus with complete fund information. Read it carefully and carefully consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, and expenses before investing.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
In the islands, tropical flavors bring out the best in fresh seafood. At Red Lobster, we're bringing new island-inspired entrees to you, like tender wood-grilled Caribbean rock lobster and shrimp, brushed with a sweet and spicy glaze. New Hawaiian Isle shrimp and salmon, and new wood-grilled citrus rum shrimp and scallops, flame-seared to seal in the juices. Wood grilling and the flavors of the islands, a whole new way to love seafood. For a limited time at Red Lobster.
Get your game up to par and maybe even under it with ESPN Golf Schools presented by American Express. One-day programs offered in over 50 cities for players of all skill levels. Sign up today and receive a $400 Callaway Golf gift card. Enroll with your American Express card and get an extra $50. Log on to ESPNGolfSchools.com or call 1-800-642-5528.
Ford's Employee Pricing Plus has been extended through January 12th. It's the final days to pay what we pay on every Ford car. truck, SUV, and crossover. Plus, get up to $6,000 cash back now through January 12th. And you can count on Ford Credit for the financing you need. It's your last chance to get employee pricing, plus up to $6,000 cash back, or 0% financing on many of Ford's best-selling vehicles. It all ends January 12th.
Back inside the Bradley Center, West Virginia on top of Marquette, 26-25. We'd like to say hello and thanks to our fans watching in 16 states on our Big East Game of the Week network, along with our viewers watching nationwide on ESPN Full Court and ESPN360.com. Big East basketball continues next Saturday. Dominique Jones and the Bulls of South Florida head into Morgantown to take on Bob Huggins and these Mountaineers from West Virginia. That's the Big East Game of the Week on the Big East Network. South Florida, West Virginia next Saturday at noon Eastern and 11 a.m. Central. Along with Mike Kelly, the former Wisconsin Badger. Mike Gleason here. Great to have you with us. And Bob Huggins. Boy, there's only 3 active coaches, Mike, with more wins than Bob Huggins right now.
Now, it's incredible what he's done at different places. And a brother-in-law that was in Manhattan, Kansas, the athletic department when he was at Kansas State, and the people there still love him for what he did there. And obviously now the people of West Virginia, and this is a great thing, they have sold over 7,000 season tickets. That's the most in school history. Just really rallying around the community, and that's what Bob Huggins can do.
Well, Jimmy Butler hits the first, ties it up. If he hits the second, Marquette has his first lead. Buzz Williams saying they got to get to the point where 2 players are coming off the bench and they can coexist comfortably with the 3 starters. Butler, obviously, that first guy, knocks it down, both of them. And Marquette has their first lead at 27-26.
Another story of this game right now, Mike. Wesley Matthews, no points, no assists, no blocks, no steals, only 2 rebounds. He's got 2 fouls and has only played 9 minutes in this first half.
Wow. Thurlman.
Look at this Marquette pressure, pushing West Virginia way out on the floor.
Kind of tough to run the offense out there, huh, Mike?
Well, it's tough to run it without your point guard, Truck Bryan, as well.
Ellington Smith, 8 on the shot clock now as he looks inside.
Yeah.
There's a whistle.
They're going to get Ruoff.
Alex Ruoff picks up his second. He has 2. Bashan Butler has 2. And, of course, as Mike mentioned, Truck Bryan over on the bench, the freshman point guard with 2 as well.
I tell you what, if you had to pick the 3 worst guys for West Virginia to have in foul trouble, it'd be those 3, Ruoff, Butler, and Bryan. The 3 guys they need on the floor.
Top of the broadcast, we talked about the parallels. The same could be said, I guess, for Marquette, huh? But wouldn't want any of the 3 seniors in foul trouble. But I guess if one of those guys goes down, the other guys can pick up the slack probably a little bit more than West Virginia's Ebanks gets inside his first bucket for the 6'9" freshman.
Well, he's a nice player. He's got all the ability in the world. I think he's still trying to figure out how to score at this level. Still trying to build his confidence. And then you see Tyreek Evans at Memphis, kind of a parallel example of a kid with tons of talent, but still trying to put it together. Right now, Evans at Memphis playing a little bit of point, which is amazing for his size. And you watch Devin Ebanks out here, and certainly shows the flashes, but it's that consistency and putting it together over 40 minutes that you want to see.
Mention Evans at Memphis. How about Truck Bryant coming in here as the point guard? He said earlier in the season, he said, you know what, I didn't like coming off the bench, but I realized Missoula was the guy and I had to learn. But now all of a sudden he is the guy. Do you think deep down he's relishing that fact, or are you thinking, wow, I've got a lot to learn in a short period of time?
Well, I think you get a little bit of both, really. I mean, I think you love being the guy, you love being out there, and then at the same time you wake up early in a cold Milwaukee morning and realize you've got to go against some All-Americans.
Well, coming up at halftime on the Big East Halftime Report, we'll have the Big East Wire, thoughts on conference play, Big East news and notes, and, of course, the first half highlights and stats. All coming up on the Big East Halftime Report, which is only a minute 47 away. The first half blowing by here in Milwaukee. I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because 11 a.m. Central, how does that affect the teams at all? Not only the cold Milwaukee morning, but 11 a.m. Central, even the home team rarely plays at 11 a.m.
Yeah, Marquette here at 6:15 for a shoot-around. Got the players up at 5:15, and different players react in different ways. Some guys are able to start their engines early, and sometimes you see guys that seem half asleep for certain portions of game.
I think I might be of the latter variety there. Talking to Larry Harrison of West Virginia, even he said, I said, it's Easter time. It's noon back in Morgantown. He said, yeah, but I like the 2 and the 4 o'clock starts.
Never heard have a little more time.
6 on the shot clock. Dominique James misfires, and Ebanks rips it down.
This is what you like to see, too, out of the big fella. Get the rebound, he can can start the fast break on his own.
Will Thomas, a sophomore from Cleveland. You talk about the foul trouble. Will Thomas getting some early playing time here for West Virginia off that Mountaineer bench. Hey, Eubanks, nice little spin move. Thurlman, that is a rare shot. Rims out. McNeil, stutter step. Second offensive stick back by Hazel. This time it doesn't go. Third chance. This time it does. McNeil in double figures with 11 points.
Marquette just being very active down low, and that's what happens. I think at home, crowd gets behind you. It's much easier to stay active on the glass.
Inside 30 seconds now in the first half here for Milwaukee.
I think you got to run something for Deshaun Butler. He's got the ball in his hands, maybe give him a ball screen. He's the best playmaker they have on the floor right now.
Down to 5 seconds. 29-28, Marquette by 1. West Virginia looking for the lead. Deshaun Butler, step back. He's got it, and it's a 3 ball at the buzzer. That only gives Butler 16, Mike, but it gives West Virginia the lead at halftime.
I said give him a ball screen. This was a first half played slow, but Marquette came on at the end of that first half. I thought they got their crowd into it, played with much better energy. But here's the shot at the end. What a great step back. Refs might take another look, see if his foot was on the line. Very close call. Not much of a ball screen either. McNeil went underneath. But that's the size of Deshaun Butler. That's what happens when you're a big guy like Butler is. You can just go with a step back and rise up over the defense. Here's another look at it. Great job. Tap dancing back.
Not terrible defense by McNeil. Huh?
No, it's tough. When you guard a big guy like that, he can rise up over you.
They're still checking now to see if this is a 2 or a 3. As Mike mentioned, Deshaun Butler goes 6'7", 225, and the little step back gave him just enough room to knock down the 3, if it is a 3.
What do you think? Ruling on the field stands.
Yeah,
to say. I mean, that's hard to say right there. Great challenge by McNeil, actually, after the little bit of a push off and step back. McNeil still with that great length, able to get a hand up, but that's just a great play by Butler.
Really tough from that angle. It may be that right toe was on the blue line there, but Jim Bird, Joe Lindsay, and John Gaffney, all three over by the monitor trying to determine if this was a 2 or 3.
I'll say this about the first half. Marquette, after starting slow, really did a nice job of coming back into this game. Thought they did a good job of keeping West Virginia off the glass. West Virginia didn't kill them on the glass, even though they're a great rebounding team. And I think foul trouble probably the story. I mean, several guys from West Virginia in foul trouble. Butler with 2, Ruoff with 2, and Ryan with 2 as well.
Well, they're going to count it a 3, 16 for Butler, 31-29 West Virginia over Marquette. Halftime coming up.
College basketball fans, welcome to Hartford, home of the 2009 Big East Women's Basketball Championship, March 6th through 10th at the XL Center. Catch all 16 Big East teams live with packages just $99 for all sessions. Tickets are on sale now, so call 860-525-4500 or log on to Ticketmaster.com.
We all know the importance of exercise, but recognize the harm it may cause joints. So ThermoSpa's designed the Aquasizer, the deepest hot tub in the world with a powerful current that allows you to jog, walk, row, and follow a series of exercises to tone virtually every muscle in your body, all within a low-impact water environment where you control the water pressure and temperature. The Aquasizer is also an elegant 7-person hot tub designed to be installed either indoors or out. Now, can you think of a better way to end your workout than with a full body massage? I can. To learn more about ThermoSpa's complete line of hot tubs, exercise spas, and swim spas, call for your free DVD and catalog. Call today, and we'll include a gift coupon for free delivery and installation. ThermoSpas offers many features found on no other hot tub. Why? Because it's not just a hot tub. It's a ThermoSpas.
If you're in debt to the IRS for $10,000 or more, you don't have to take desperate measures to settle your account. In fact, you might actually be able to pay just pennies on the dollar. All you have to do is put the right people to work for you. And that's as simple as calling this number. You'll speak to a tax expert who can help you negotiate a settlement that's significantly less than the actual amount you owe. Many are former IRS agents who have inside knowledge that you can't get elsewhere. And that can make all the difference in the world.
They saved my business.
I owed $30,000 and paid a fraction of it.
The threatening letter stopped immediately.
I got great advice, and they did all the work.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, you owe it to yourself and your family to call this number and get your case settled for less. Now, you only have a small window of time to settle, so act now.
For a free tax analysis, call 800-320-9026. There is no obligation. Call 800-320-9026.
Welcome back inside the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Halftime between West Virginia and Marquette. Don't forget, Big East basketball continues next Saturday when Dominique Jones and the Bulls of South Florida, they'll head into Morgantown to take on Bob Huggins and these Mountaineers of West Virginia. That's the Big East game of the week on the Big East Network. South Florida taking on West Virginia in Morgantown Saturday at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern. When we come back to the Bradley Center, first half highlights, and then we'll roll into the second half as Marquette tries to make it 7 straights after this.
You're up.
Nah, you go ahead.
All right.
Impressive. Where'd you learn that? Some fancy golf school? Hey, how'd you learn to do that? What are you, taking lessons? Come on, what's your secret? You got your own pro?
Yep, got a bunch of them.
The key to better golf is the best instruction, and Golf Digest is the only place you can learn from the game's hottest pros. Ernie Els, Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods. Call today, and for just $14.97, you'll get 12 issues of Golf Digest with easy-to-follow techniques, equipment reviews, pocket tips, and much more. Subscribe now, and you'll get this DVD free. Renowned instructor Jim McClain demonstrates practice plans that will help improve your game.
What do you mean you got a bunch of them?
Here, order your own.
Call now to order Golf Digest, 800-543-6200. That's 800-543-6200.
At Barron's, we find investing opportunities that the crowd missed and give you investing ideas and insights that can help your portfolio grow. Subscribe now and you'll receive 8 weeks of Barron's plus Barron's Online with access to daily columns, market analysis, and tools like our Stock Screener and Market Lab, all for only $19.95. Call now, 800-334-6600. That's 800-334-6600 for Barron's.
This could be the start of something, yeah. This could be the start of something, the start of something. The start of something, the start of something, yeah.
The news brought to you by MPS. Say yes to MPS.
There are some things only a truck can do. When you need one, you need one. But when you choose one, know this: Toyota quality saves money. Toyota trucks are so well made, they cost less to own than any other trucks in their classes. And now, special financing and leases make it surprisingly easy to get into a new Tundra or a new Tacoma. See your Toyota dealer now to start saving now. Toyota, a great way to keep moving forward. When someone you love
16-year-old girl went missing last night.
vanishes in an instant.
Where's
the boy? Every
Get on the ground now!
second counts. Without a Trace weekends.
Sunday at 2 on WMLW.
We get Jeopardy!
Everyone gets it. Do you? Jeopardy. Get a clue. Weekdays at 3 on WMLW.
Welcome to the Big East Halftime Report. Marquette and West Virginia with 20 minutes in the books. Time now for this week's Big East Wires. We hear from coaches and players from around the league sharing their thoughts on Big East basketball and the gauntlet that is conference play.
Fields for three. Oh! Pittsburgh wins here at the Garden. Alley-oop. Hello! Here's Hibbert. Yes! A three-pointer! You gotta be kidding me! That's all she wrote. The Panthers have won the Big East Tournament Championship.
Last
last season, the Big East gave us some thrilling moments. But that excitement can only increase this year with a record 9 teams ranked to start conference play. We asked players and coaches their thoughts on the conference and what awaits them in the coming weeks.
4 years ago, when we put this all together, they talked about what happens when all these teams ever get good. We're going to find out.
What I like about the league this year and what I think is going to make it really demanding is that it's an experienced league. It's dominated by seniors and juniors.
It's hands down the best conference in the country, but it's probably one of the most physical conferences in the country. And any given night, you know, the bottom teams can beat the top teams, so that makes it even tougher.
Oh, it's the toughest league in America. It's the only league in America where you could literally, on a 10-day span, play 3 teams in the top 15 in America, back-to-back.
If you're a competitor, you know, this is what you dream about. This is one of the reasons I wanted to play in this conference. There are no easy games. Every night that you step on that court that you get, you better be ready to go. It doesn't matter who you're playing.
I mean, I'm walking around here, and I'm 5'11" Marquette from Staten Island. I feel like I don't belong here, you know? It's there's so many good players and legendary coaches that it's a pretty intimidating league.
I've never seen anything like this. Fans love it. Players love it. It's 16 coaches that are very anxious right now. We're trying to figure out, are we still standing in March at the end of the day?
Well, Marquette's number 15, West Virginia number 22. The Mountaineers trying to bounce back after losing to UConn. Marquette trying to get to 4-0. Second half is just around the corner.
Don't pay another mortgage payment or maintenance fee on your timeshare. Turn it into cash. Call Timeshares Only.
We got rid of those maintenance fees.
Thanks, Timeshares Only, for making it so easy.
At Timeshares Only, you'll find properties from the biggest names in the industry. If you want to buy, sell, or rent, call now.
No more mortgage payments, no more maintenance fees.
Thanks, Timeshares Only.
Call Timeshares Only and get your free information kit with our insider secrets to buying, selling, and renting timeshares, plus receive a free $100 gift card. Our thousands of satisfied customers have made us the largest resale marketplace in the world. Call Timeshares Only now.
Your free information kit with our 10 secrets on selling your timeshares waiting. The over $5 billion sold in the past 6 months proves now could be the best time to sell. Call Timeshares Only today. Thank us tomorrow.
Call Timeshares Only now and get your free information kit. Turn your timeshare into cash and never pay another mortgage payment, maintenance fee, or tax bill again. Don't wait. Call now.
Call 800-314-0762. That's 800-314-0762. Call 800-314-0762 now.
I couldn't believe how much I was paying for health insurance before, but Mega specializes in affordable health insurance for families and for people like me who don't get health insurance where we work.
Stop struggling to figure out how you can get affordable health insurance. If you're one of 45 million Americans without it, call the number on your screen right now to get affordable health insurance with the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company.
I was struggling to find affordable health insurance for my family. What appealed to me about Mega is that I could tailor a plan that fit our needs, as well as our budget.
I'm responsible for providing health insurance for my family. I work hard, and I deserve a company that works hard for me. Mega, they saved me time and money. They got the coverage I needed at the price I could afford.
Mega has been America's solution for affordable health insurance for over 20 years. To get a plan that's tailored to fit your needs, call the number on the screen right now.
Do what we did. Call today.
Ford's Employee Pricing Plus has been extended through January 12th. It's the final days to pay what we pay on every Ford car, truck, SUV, and crossover. Plus, get up to $6,000 cash back now through January 12th. And you can count on Ford credit for the financing you need. It's your last chance to get employee pricing, plus up to $6,000 cash back, or 0% financing on many of Ford's best-selling vehicles. It all ends January 12th.
Welcome back to the Big East Halftime Report. The Golden Eagles of Marquette and the Mountaineers of West Virginia are at the break. And we'll have more halftime here from the Bradley Center coming up right after this.
Available on DVD now. Discover the critically acclaimed film.
It was everybody else, and then there was us.
About basketball's unknown legends.
I was going to rise above that.
Who changed the game forever.
There was a new game in town called integration.
When you throw the ball up, we all equal. You just got to have a dream. You got to hold on to the dream.
Over an hour of bonus features. Own the 2-disc collector's edition today.
I said yes.
I said yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes to MPS.
My daughter's at Carlton Elementary.
Milwaukee Spanish Immersion.
MSL.
Vincent.
It starts with a solid foundation. Certified teachers.
Focus on success. Graduation day. And a life beyond.
We had a choice.
Our choice was simple.
We said yes.
Yes. Yes to MPS.
Unlock the power.
Say yes to MPS. Call 475-8448. Enroll your kids now.
There are some things only a truck can do. When you need one, you need one. But when you choose one, know this: Toyota quality saves money. Toyota trucks are so well made, they cost less to own than any other trucks in their classes. And now, special financing and leases make it surprisingly easy to get into a new Tundra or a new Tacoma. See your Toyota dealer now to start saving now. Toyota, a great way to keep moving forward.
Welcome back to the Big East Halftime Report. West Virginia taking the lead at the buzzer on a three-pointer by Deshaun Butler, along with former Wisconsin Badger great Mike Kelly. I'm Mike Gleason. Great to have you with us. And early in the broadcast, you said the operative word would be pace. It's amazing how that pace has changed a couple of times in the first half.
Absolutely. We saw Marquette get back into it in the first half when it went up and down a little bit quicker. Right now for West Virginia, though, foul trouble, the big key in the second half.
Let's take a look at the PNC first half highlights now.
Well, for West Virginia, it was Deshaun Butler, 16 points in that first half, and he played most of the first half with 2 fouls. Did a nice job of avoiding picking up his third, and you watch him play. He's got great confidence. He's got great size. Hit that 3 at the end of the half was a nice boost for that West Virginia team. And for Marquette, it was Jarrell McNeil. Marquette only goes 1 for 10 from outside the arc, but McNeil is the guy that hits that 1-3. It was a deep one, and certainly he can score within the arc as well. Put the ball on the floor. He's got a nice little stutter step. I think McNeil may be the guy in the second half that takes over a little bit for Marquette, takes some shots, and shoots their way into this game.
And let's take a look at the numbers now. Deshaun Butler, as you mentioned, 16 points. Ruoff, 7. Wellington Smith, 4. McNeil, the only one in double figures with 11 points. Dominic James, 4 for 9 shooting the clock. Deshaun Butler, you mentioned the 2 quick fouls he picked up in the first half. He played 19 minutes. Does that surprise you at all? Is it the fact that Bob Huggins just had to have him in the game because we talked about the fact they need him to score?
I think that's the issue. And the other issue is Ruoff gets 2 fouls and Truck Bryant gets 2 fouls. And those are the 3 ball handlers. One of them has got to be out there. Perhaps Bob Huggins thinking the freshman Bryant not be mature enough or ready enough to continue to play and not pick up his third, trusting Deshaun Butler instead to stay out there, score, and not pick up a foul.
Nice battle by Burke. He gets it twice and finally draws the foul by Ebanks. So Dwight Burke, the 6'8" senior from Brooklyn, will be going to the line. And we look at the numbers now. 1 for 10, as you mentioned. Marquette from three-point territory, just 2 for 13 against Rutgers. So they've kind of gotten cold in that category, but 10 points in the paint each team.
And the offensive rebounds is what I'm really focusing on right now. Marquette doing a great job getting on the glass, 9 offensive rebounds and holding West Virginia to only 4. A West Virginia team that almost averages 17 a game. And how about Pat Hazel and Jimmy Butler? A couple of role players from Marquette coming off the bench, guys that don't get a lot of minutes. Because Wesley Matthews had 2 fouls, he only plays 9. Hazel plays 13 minutes in the first half, and Jimmy Butler plays 16.
Well, Buzz Williams saying earlier this year that those guys coming off the bench, we can't have any empty minutes. And Butler coming off that bench today, and Hazel obviously giving 110% when they're on the floor.
think it starts from Marquette with ball pressure. We saw him a few possessions able to push West Virginia out on the floor. When they do that, they get on transition as well.
Nice look inside. Ebanks gets the bucket, his first of the second half. He's got 4 in the ball game now. Marquette knocking off Villanova 79-72. It's interesting what Jay Wright had to say after that ball game.
It really was. He said they'd be fun to watch if you didn't have to play them. They're not fun to watch when you're on the sidelines. Jay Wright always with a good sense of humor. That was a good game for Marquette. That's a very good Villanova team, ranked 13th at the time coming in here. And Dominic James did a great job defending Scotty Reynolds.
Even Corey Fisher was saying after that ball game, he was amazed at how unselfish this basketball team is. And Buzz Williams saying that, you know what? The kids coming off the bench better be unselfish or they're not going to play. That's the way we play basketball here. Doesn't matter who scores. Ebanks.
Not a lot of movement right now by West Virginia. A little stagnant on offense.
Down to 8 on the shot clock.
There's
Bryant, nice look inside. Freshman to freshman, and Ebanks with the left hand was 6.
What a great look. And I mentioned they were a little stagnant, and then all it took was a little double ball screen. And there's the difference with Chuck Bryant. He can find his teammates.
Matthews flies down that baseline, draws the foul. He'll be going back to the line shooting a couple. He's an 83% shooter.
You got to get back and stay in front. But how about this? A little double ball screen. And then Bryant, I didn't think he saw the cutter going down low, but instead he did at the last second. And that's what you miss. I mean, you got one point guard. It's Chuck Bryant. He's out there with Missoula on the bench, and that's important for him to stay out there. When you've got a point guard that can break for your teammates, so important to have him on there. And then against Marquette with the great ball pressure again. When you lose a ball handler, it really hurts your team.
Missoula on the bench. Let's say, hypothetically, they decide to redshirt him. And earlier this year against Kentucky, they lost the ball game. Missoula was saying, our goal was 10 turnovers. We had 16. That means there's 6 wasted possessions. That means there's no leadership out there. I take responsibility. How much are they missing his leadership?
Well, I think you always miss leadership whenever you've got a guy with experience of Missoula and great feel for the game that he brings to the floor. And, you know, the great quote that you talked about, those are 6 empty possessions. A lot of players don't think like that. He does. The question for West Virginia will be, as they go deeper and deeper into this season and have more and more successes, you know they will. Do you bring him off? Do you play him? I think you've got to talk to the kid, get some input from him and see how he feels about it. And then, of course, just wait and see how the season goes. There's no right or wrong answer. You just kind of have to see where this team is at.
Well, Joe Missoula, Chuck Bryant was saying he was amazed at how he can take it to the rack when he wants to. He's more of a bull. Darius Nichols had a little bit more finesse, but Bryant was saying, hey, I wouldn't mind starting for this team, but boy, I was amazed at how much I learned from Missoula early on in camp. Inside Matthews, scoreless in the first half. He has 3 now, 4.
That was great play. Just a little UCLA cut. Pass the ball to the wing, a little up screen. Great vision, great sharing of the basketball.
Deshaun Butler stops. Over to Kevin Jones, another freshman. This is Jones. Faces up, misses the shot, and the rebound. Knocked out of bounds by West Virginia. The Marquette basketball.
You take a look at this half-court set. Just a little give and go. In fact, that wasn't even a screen. That was just Wesley Matthews cutting to the basket, getting involved in this second half. I love Wesley Matthews' game. He's so strong. You know, he's not the quickest player out there, not the most athletic, but he's got a great feel. He's got great strength, and he can get to the rim and get into the free throw line is something he's really done this year.
And he was telling you at Media Day, I listened to the interview, that he was going to be more unselfish, more for the team, was going to help the team. As Deshaun Butler just picked up another one. That's going to be 4 on him, and Bob Huggins.
Wow.
It's up 16:37 to go. We can ill afford to take him up, but we have to now. Deshaun Butler with 16 first half points. He's headed for the bench. I was saying Matthews was telling you at Media Day he was going to be more unselfish, and here he is leading the team. Was he kind of the unsung guy as he scores once again on the inbound pass? As far as the first 3 years, I mean, obviously he was consistent. He scored in double figures a ton of times, but he was kind of the unsung.
He was the unsung guy. In fact, last year you talked to the coaching staff at Marquette coming into last season, and they really expected him to explode more offensively, and instead it got into that same role that he had played his first 2 years. And I think what people talk about around this Marquette program was under Tom Crean, who had been the coach for the first 3 years, they ran a lot of set plays. Most of those plays were not for Wesley Matthews. And because he is so unselfish, he's not the type of guy that's going to break off from a set play to try to get his own shots. He went with the system. And in Buzz Williams' system right now, it's an equal opportunity. If you're open, you can take it, and that's why he's taking advantage.
I apologize. I think I said he was going to be more unselfish. He was going to be more selfish for a good reason, a good cause. Picks up another steal, and he's out of bounds. It's going to come back to West Virginia. Tried to call the timeout. When you're going about 85 miles an hour, sliding down the floor, that's not going to work.
Floorburns, he's got those tights on, so he won't get any floorboards on his legs. Well, he might have a hurt elbow in the morning, though. Been there before.
Nice try trying to call the timeout.
Well, the story right now has got to be Deshaun Butler, though. West Virginia, without him, he's got 4 fouls. And a little chippy one there. Picked up 2 quick. Played with 2 in the first half. Did an excellent job getting 16 points. Playing with 2 fouls. They're going to be without him now. I think you have to watch how this second half goes and make a decision. If this game gets away from you, you may have to put him back in early, but I think Bob Huggins is probably hoping he can let him sit till under at least 8 minutes left.
Ruoff, Butler were 9 for 29 against UConn. That's a 2. Matthews scoreless in the first half. All of a sudden, he's got 9 points.
That's a shot. He does not take that shot last year. Last year, they set up, they run a set play. This year, he's got the freedom and the confidence to take that shot.
It's an amazing game, isn't it? You hit that shot in high school with your eyes closed, and then you don't take it in college, and you know you can do it.
Absolutely. Confidence is such a slippery thing, hard to hold on to.
Matthews is on a 9-0 run himself. Flowers misfires. Ruoff. He gets blocked on the offensive rebound.
Good pass.
Quickly. We got the running shoes on now. And Thurlman knocks it off of Marquette. Wesley Matthews, Mike, starting to heat up. 38-35, Marquette.
In the islands, tropical flavors bring out the best in fresh seafood. At Red Lobster, we're bringing new island-inspired entrees to you, like tender wood-grilled Caribbean rock lobster and shrimp, brushed with a sweet and spicy glaze. New Hawaiian Isle shrimp and salmon, and new wood-grilled citrus rum shrimp and scallops, flame-seared to seal in the juices. Wood grilling and the flavors of the islands, a whole new way to love seafood. For a limited time at Red Lobster.
Nobody gives you more power than Interstate Batteries. And we have a national warranty program with over 200,000 dealers to back it up. How do we make them so powerful? Now that's a secret. Get the battery with more power in it and the most power behind it. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Now that college is a few years behind me, it seems I've got 3 times the bills I used to. And they're getting in the way of things I'd like to do. With the Money Bar, I can move my money around instantly. So, when there's more bills than usual, it's no problem. And I use the wish list to put any extra money aside for anything I want. Being in control of my money feels good.
Introducing the Virtual Wallet from PNC, a high-definition online view of your money. PNC, leading the way.
Hey, how'd you learn to do that? Come on, what's your secret? Would you take lessons? You got your own pro?
Yep, I got a bunch of them.
What do you mean you got a bunch of them?
Here, order your own.
Get 12 months of Golf Digest with easy-to-follow tips and techniques for just $14.97. Order today and receive this DVD absolutely free.
Call now to order Golf Digest, 800-543-6200. That's 800-543-6200.
Back inside the Bradley Center, our score 38-35, Marquette up by 3. We'd like to say hello and thanks to our fans watching in 16 states and our Big East Game of the Week network, along with our viewers watching nationwide on ESPN Full Court and ESPN360.com. Wesley Matthews, Mike, as we said going to the break, is really starting to heat up now.
He is. You know, he's just very opportunistic in the way he gets his points in that first half. He was content to let his teammates do more of the work. Of course, he had some foul trouble as well, so he only played 9 minutes. And then he comes out, and I love to watch a player with that great confidence. You see the 9 points in the second half. He's got a very nice mid-range game. He can step out to 3, yes, with the strength to put the ball on the floor, get in the lane, and then get to the free throw line is something that he has a particular talent and ability to do.
Well, they opened the season with 3 straight games, 27, 26, and 25. He had 20 in the Dominique James says, hey, I want to get in double figures, which he does with that basket.
The defensive effort from James this year has been just sensational. I mean, it's fun to watch a player transform his game. He came on at a great freshman year, 3rd with the NBA. Was more of an offensive player, but has found out he can always bring that defense, and the assists are up as well.
This is Ruoff. Remember at the top of the broadcast, we talked about the fact they need Butler and Ruoff to score. And Ruoff takes the shot, so he's trying to score, but now Butler up with foul trouble. Let's go back to that Dominique James, a steal.
Well, sometimes there's just great individual effort. Bryant tried to get a ball screen. That's what he was working for. But James, he's just so quick. You know, he's got great hands, great quickness. You watch him play against these great guards. Scotty Reynolds, as I mentioned, Deontay Vaughn, he did a great job against. Held Vaughn scoreless in that game.
In his career.
That's a guy who was 6th in the conference last year.
Kevin Jones, another young freshman for Bob Huggins, 6'8", 220 from Mount Vernon. Actually, they say he's up to about 230 now as they spend more and more time in the weight room. Hazel back on the floor for Marquette.
Kevin Jones was rewarded that time for posting up very hard, and because of that hard post up, they didn't give him the touch. Ruoff instead took the shot, but he was in good position because of that post up to get the offensive rebound and the putback.
Dominique James, remember after that sophomore year, Mike, he went to the NBA pre-draft camp, did not have a good camp, but never said much about it, never sulked, never pouted, came right back to Milwaukee and just picked up where he left off. I was always impressed with that. McNeil, there's that steal. Thurlman plays it up, and Cam Thurlman gets the bucket, his first. He's been active, not with scoring, but all over the place since coming off the bench.
How about the big guy? They say he's an energy guy, comes off the bench and gives them a boost, diving for loose balls, and great vision that time to get the behind-the-back steal.
Over the last 7 games off the bench, averaging over 5 rebounds a game, Cam Thurlman is.
He's slowing down a bit in half court for Marquette. These past few possessions have been much slower. It's not their game.
Deep 3, too strong. And Kevin Jones with a rebound. Chuck Bryant, New York City point guard. He says he's tough, physical, and athletic, but he says he's not flash and dash.
He said he can do that, but of course he just takes the easy way out, or not the easy way out, but the easier approach. And not all those New York City point guards are going to go behind the back and do the degree of difficulty passes. How about this play by Thurman, though? I love this.
Yeah.
Just taking advantage. Like you get that safety blitz or the corner blitz. The quarterback doesn't even see it coming. McNeil there just had his pocket picked.
Well, he's their energy guy off the bench. He's probably the most physical post presence off the bench as well. Nice touch that time. Kevin Jones got 4 off the bench now. They say Jones coming into Morgantown never met a shot he didn't like, never saw a shot he didn't like. There's a foul. Looks like it's going to go against Chuck Bryant down in the paint. Well, golf fans and golf pros, registration for the 2009 ESPN National Golf Challenge is already underway for courses and teams in the gross, net, and new 55 and older senior division. For more information, log on to ESPNGolf.com.
I'll tell you what, Mike, we talked at halftime about the first half, and Kevin Jones pretty quiet, only 3 minutes in that first half. But how about the second half? He has really come out, looked to score. As you mentioned, he's the type of guy who doesn't see a lot of shots he doesn't like to take, but I like the aggressiveness in the post-up. Down low, wanting the ball, calling for the ball, even when he doesn't get it. As I mentioned, he gets in good position for the offensive rebound.
Yeah, he's out of Mount Vernon High School. They've had some players come out of there. Ben Gordon. There's Jonathan Mitchell for Rutgers, went down to Florida. He's transferred back to Rutgers. All-time leading scorer there. It's good to see a freshman, though, getting more aggressive. As it takes some time. When you were a freshman, how aggressive were you on the offensive end?
I don't think I was ever aggressive. I was content just to bring the ball up and pass it to my teammates. Ooh, an elbow there.
Well, I was trying to give you an opportunity to say you weren't just a defensive whiz. Ruoff with the spin move and a reach.
James was getting right in the face of Thurlman. Those two went at the entire possession.
You know, it's amazing in the first half as we take another look at this, Mike.
Well, watch. It may be off screen there. See McNeil and Ruoff get tangled up, but starting that possession, it was Thurman and James that got tangled up. A little bit of an elbow thrown. It didn't land, but James took exception to it, and they continue to tangle up the rest of the way.
Ruoff misses the first. He's a 77% shooter. He has 7 points all in the first half. And keep in mind, Deshaun Butler, we go back to the fact he's on the bench with 4 fouls. Say Ruoff is getting more and more comfortable off the dribble as well. He's not just a three-point shooter, but they're going to need him to step up now as they're tied at 42.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the most natural shooter they have when Deshaun Butler goes to the bench. So you're right. He's going to be the guy that's going to take some of their shots.
There's a whistle away from the ball, and it's going against Hazel. Down on Ruoff in the paint.
You know what I think's happening right now? These refs realizing the game getting very physical. Got to get it back under control. We've seen some guys square up against each other, some elbows thrown. And every good ref knows when you start to see that, you've got to get it back under control. Some quick whistles.
That's what I was going to say. Early in the game, you talked about the pace. Well, there's a push shot by Ruoff. A little too obvious that time. And that's that defense, which you're well aware of being the defensive player of the year in the Big Ten, that you can drive people crazy with good, tough defense.
Absolutely. Dominic James, he's a ball hawk. He's all over it. He's so quick. He's great laterally with his shuffle moves. Stays in front of Ruoff, and of course, that's where they missed Chuck Bryant as well.
Dominique comes back on the other end, goes high off the glass for his 12-point.
I tell you what, there are certain guys, when you mix it up with them and you get in their face and you get them pumped up, they respond. Right now, Dominic James is responding positively for his team.
5-on-5, but a little one-on-one battle going between James and Ruoff. Flowers, the step back doesn't go. Here comes Marquette. He can finish. Unselfishly, Dominic James gives it up for Matthews, and it goes out of bounds. I don't think even Matthews was expecting that. We're going to take a timeout. Dominic James, little stutter step back, kiss off the window. 44-42, Golden Eagles.
What was the first thing your husband said to you that morning?
He looked at me and said, "Susan, where am I?"
And why was that upsetting for you?
My name is Diane.
I need a lawyer. Give me a lawyer. I didn't kill anybody. I'm not a killer.
Crazy times call for crazy fun. Plan your escape at visitlasvegas.com.
You're in the market, but what do you want your numbers to add up to? Maybe a time-tested way to help reach your financial goals. At Oppenheimer Funds, we follow proven principles, like investing for the long term, so you can ride out the market's ups and downs, and perhaps end up with the second career you've always wanted.
Call your advisor for a prospectus with complete fund information. Read it carefully and carefully consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, and expenses before investing.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
I couldn't believe how much I was paying for health insurance before, but Mega specializes in affordable health insurance for families and for people like me who don't get health insurance where we work.
Stop struggling to figure out how you can get affordable health insurance. If you're one of 45 million Americans without it, call the number on your screen right now to get affordable health insurance with the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company.
I was struggling to find affordable health insurance for my family. What appealed to me about Mega is that I could tailor a plan that fit our needs, as well as our budget.
Now, I'm responsible for providing health insurance for my family. I work hard, and I deserve a company that works hard for me. Mega, they saved me time and money. They got the coverage I needed at the price I could afford.
Mega has been America's solution for affordable health insurance for over 20 years. To get a plan that's tailored to fit your needs, call the number on the screen right now.
Do what we did. Call today.
Well, Marquette trying to make it 7 in a row. They lead 44-42 over West Virginia. All season long, Champion Apparel will be showcasing the tradition and history of the Big East Conference. And today, let's take a look back at one of the great players to wear a Marquette jersey in recent years, Dwayne Wade.
Unbelievable player. I had the privilege of watching him play for 4 years. And this was he was one of those players, when you watched him play, he never seemed to be in a hurry, but he could always get around players. He was always able to create his own shots. So athletic, just a joy to watch.
Look at the numbers here. He leads the NBA at almost 29 points a game, shooting 48%. He was an All-American, obviously great player, led Marquette to a Final Four, but did you think he was going to have the NBA career that he's having?
I didn't. You know, it's really hard to project players, and I think the one thing you always watch for is how can they create their own shots. He was great at the college level, and you don't know how that's going to translate, and certainly he has been unbelievable as an NBA player. One of my biggest regrets, too, is I missed him by a year. I really would have enjoyed playing against him in college, but unfortunately didn't get the chance. I might have got embarrassed, but it would have been fun to at least have the experience.
You're thinking you were to shut him down. That's what you're thinking. An extra pass, but the shot doesn't go down, and Matthews comes down with a rebound. Matthews is clobbered as he tries to take it to the rack, and John Flowers is going to pick up another foul.
Nice job attacking the basket by Matthews, coast to coast. Against this Marquette team, when they get out in transition, you have to get in front and face them. See, no one's facing all the way down. That's John Flowers. Now, it's tough. They're so fast. They do change ends of the floor very quick. But you watch John Flowers as he ran down. You can't run alongside these guys. You can't show them the back of your jersey. You've got to get in front, face up. That's the only way they're going to stop them.
Flowers goes out with 4 fouls now, so he and Deshaun Butler each with 4. And you were talking about keeping them in front. Truck Bryant now. Let's go back to the other side, West Virginia. He said one thing that's a work in progress is his defense. He's learning how to keep somebody in front of you. I mean, obviously, that's obvious what that means, but easier said than done.
Well, I love Bob Huggins' quote on the topic. He said, like most freshmen, when Truck Bryant got to campus, he had to learn a foreign language, defense. Which is pretty funny to see, but it's tough. I mean, it's one thing to want to stay in front with the great players, though. It's tough to do.
Long rebound, McNeil. Little hang time, doesn't go. And there's the whistle. We're coming back the other way. West Virginia basketball.
Now, I know it's only a 4-point deficit for West Virginia, but I just get the sense right now that this is a crucial time for West Virginia to stay in this game. They're only down 4, but I think the next 4 or 5 minutes, playing without Deshaun Butler, trying to score and keep this game close, I think the next 4 minutes will decide how well they do.
Right now, having a tough time getting in that offense as Truck Bryant probably would take that shot back if he had the opportunity. Thurman, there's that physical presence down low we talked about, and shot clock violation. Thurman came up with a basketball, but they ran out of time, and Bob Huggins is up, going to the bench, and now he waves in Will Thomas, the sophomore from Cleveland, coming back in, and Bryant. I don't think Bob Huggins liked that shot by the young freshman.
Well, you can't blame Thurman for passing that ball. I realized it was the end of the shot clock, and because he passed it, they didn't get the shot off, but he was fighting for his life down low. He had 3 Marquette guys around him.
See, Marquette just 7 turnovers in the first half. You talked about the pace. West Virginia playing very tough defense.
Nice
shots
steal.
Hard to come by, and Marquette only had 3 turnovers. Nice look inside, and Ruoff gets the basket.
How about Kevin Jones having a great second half? I really like watching him play. Wasn't a big factor in that first half, but nice job getting in the passing lanes and great patience to wait for Ruoff to get open.
Again, Jones just a freshman, but once some of these guys grow up, Ebanks, Jones. Inside. Some contact, no foul.
Thurman is tough down low.
Quickly now, West Virginia. Ebanks. Freshman backs his man down, missed the shot. Good thought, just couldn't finish though, as Ebanks, 6'9", 205 pounds. They say he's put on 27 pounds since he committed to West Virginia.
Still got some ways to go too. He's going to fill out even more. Thurman tangled up down low.
Oh, there's a reach. Will Thomas picks up the foul.
See, I don't like that foul, and Bob Huggins doesn't like it either. When you're out there 35 feet away from the basket, there's no need to pick up that foul. I mean, this West Virginia team that plays physical, they're going to get their fouls, but you got to make them count.
Bob Huggins Huggins. Well, he's been the National Coach of the Year, Conference USA Coach of the Decade, Big 12 Coach of the Year, Ohio Valley Coach of the Year. 10-year contract extension already at West Virginia. If you had the list, and I know there's too many good ones, but he'd have to rank pretty high up there in the Big East.
Absolutely. Just a phenomenal coach, a great teacher, great recruiter. One of the interesting quotes I heard at the Big East Media Day was not for this year, but for the previous year when Tom Crean saw the projected standings, and I think it had West Virginia around 9 or 10 last year, and he said, there's no way a Bob Huggins coach team is going to finish 9th or 10th in any conference.
Well, the last 6 years, actually, West Virginia has defied the predictors.
Look at James all over the ball.
There's Thurman on the baseline, misses the shot. Thomas gets another shot at it. Well, Thomas is really battling, and finally it's Thurman.
Thurman all over the place. I love watching that guy play. He has been physical in this second half.
He's only a sophomore. Light it up. That's another free ball. McNeil now with 17.
That makes Marquette so dangerous when they can hit that outside shot. That's the element of their game. It forces the defense out, and then it creates lanes for them to drive.
Looking for Ruoff inside. The whistle before the shot goes against Marquette.
About Thurman down low. My new unsung hero in the Big East. I love watching him play. Very physical on the defensive end, on the offensive end. Staying in there, waiting for the shot. And then McNeil. So you give him just a step, and he'll bury that three. They were cold in the first half, only 1 for 10.
Smith, nice touch off the glass. He's got 6, his first bucket in the second half.
Mike, I mentioned about 11-minute mark how important the next 3 or 4 minutes were going to be. West Virginia was down 4, and now we're 3 minutes later, and they're only down 3.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, every game in the Big East is a battle, but this is a battle, I'll tell you. Shots are hard to come by, clean looks. We're going to take a timeout here from the Bradley Center, 7:58 to go. Buzz Williams and Marquette by 3 over the Mountaineers.
We've got a ton of stuff we've got to pay for.
And a few things we want to pay for.
On top of it all, we're still trying to put away some money for the future. With the wish list, we can save up for anything we want.
And still have enough to cover the day-to-day. Plus, the savings engine helps our money grow.
And that's something we need and want.
Introducing the virtual wallet from PNC, a high-definition online view of your money. PNC, leading the way.
College basketball fans, welcome to Hartford, home of the 2009 Big East Women's Basketball Championship, March 6th through 10th at the XL Center. Catch all 16 Big East teams live with packages just $99 for all sessions. Tickets are on sale now, so call 860-525-4500 or log on to Ticketmaster.com.
Own a timeshare? Turn it into cash.
No more mortgage payments.
Thank you, Timeshares Only.
At Timeshares Only, you'll find properties from the biggest names in the industry. If you want to buy, sell, or rent, call now. Call Timeshares Only and get your free information kit with our insider secrets to buying, selling, and renting timeshares, plus receive a free $100 gift card.
The over $5 billion sold in the past 6 months proves now can be the best time to sell.
Call 800-490-0704. That's 800-490-0704. Call 800-490-0704 now.
Ford's Employee Pricing Plus has been extended through January 12th. It's the final days to pay what we pay on every Ford car, truck, SUV, and crossover. Plus, get up to $6,000 cash back now through January 12th. And you can count on Ford credit for the financing you need. It's your last chance to get employee pricing, plus up to $6,000 cash back, or 0% financing on many of Ford's best-selling vehicles. It all ends January 12th.
51-48, Marquette by 3 over West Virginia. Mike, let's go back and relive your guards in the Big East, the Mike Kelly's best of.
You gave me a hard time for these 5, and obviously they're great players, and then you go past the best of the rest. Well, here was the email that came in. Who
else would you include among your best guards, and why are there no West Virginia players? John Kay from Fairmont, West Virginia wants to know. Fair question.
It is a fair question. There's so many great guards, and I think when you go down past those guys, I think Torrey Jackson is such a great floor leader for that Notre Dame team. Dominic James, Wesley Matthews, they've got great size in Matthews, but he's still considered a guard. Jerome Dyson's been great for that UConn team. And Deontay
What about John Kay? No West Virginia players.
Well, I mean, it's impossible. It's so hard to get everybody in there. I'd like to put 25 guys down instead of just 10. I think Ruoff is a great player. He's a great scorer. He can shoot the ball real well. And you know what I struggled with is Deshaun Butler. They list him as a forward, but certainly plays some guard, and I think he could be one of the best guards, too, if you would consider him a guard.
Don't forget to email Mike at Kelly's Corner at ESPNplus.com. He'll answer them during the Big East Game of the Week. For schedule and station listings, go to www.espnplus.com.
You know, you think West Virginia fans have a problem? Jeremy Hazel is second leading scorer. He's not in my top 10.
I'm going to come back and talk more guards in the Big East, but we're going to take a timeout. 7:55 to go here in Milwaukee.
In the islands, tropical flavors bring out the best in fresh seafood. At Red Lobster, we're bringing new island-inspired entrees to you, like tender wood-grilled Caribbean rock lobster and shrimp, brushed with a sweet and spicy glaze. New Hawaiian Isle shrimp and salmon, and new wood-grilled citrus rum shrimp and scallops, flame-seared to seal in the juices. Wood grilling and the flavors of the islands. A whole new way to love seafood. For a limited time at Red Lobster.
Hey, how'd you learn to do that? Come on, what's your secret? Would you take lessons? You got your own pro?
Yep, I got a bunch of them.
What do you mean you got a bunch of them?
Here, order your own.
Get 12 months of Golf Digest with easy-to-follow tips and techniques for just $14.97. Order today and receive this DVD absolutely free.
Call now to order Golf Digest, 800-543-6200. That's 800-543.
Today, the world's moving faster than ever. It's all about technology, information, speed.
I want to stay ahead of the curve.
You have the best learning tools. That's why my family said yes. Yeah, yes.
To MPS.
My school is in touch. Nurture my learning way with real-life curriculum. That's curriculum.
Free internet.
Computers in the classroom. I'm in a great place to learn.
That's why we said yes.
Yes. Yes to MPS.
Unlock the power.
Call the number on the screen. Enroll your kids now.
There are some things only a truck can do. When you need one, you need one. But when you choose one, know this: Toyota quality saves money. Toyota trucks are so well made, they cost less to own than any other trucks in their classes. And now, special financing and leases make it surprisingly easy to get into a new Tundra or a new Tacoma. See your Toyota dealer now to start saving now. Toyota, a great way to keep moving forward.
And we're back in the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the home of the Golden Eagles with Marquette, along with Mike Kelly, the former defensive whiz for Wisconsin. I'm Mike Gleason. Great to have you with us. The Big East Game of the Week, the first Big East Game of the Week for this 2009 season. See West Virginia 3-17 record on the road versus ranked Big East teams over the last 10 years. Mike, I think that's going to change under Bob Huggins.
Well, it will start to change, but I'll say this: trying to live on the road against ranked teams is never easy. I mean, getting 3 wins, even 3-17, those 3 wins came very hard fought.
In his first year, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, 13 of their 26 wins came on the road. Of course, not all against ranked teams, but as Wesley Matthews goes back to the line, scoreless in the first half, 10 second half points already, and make it 11. 83%. Well, it's easy to say this, but so many kids shoot in the 60s. I'm sure you were up in the 80s, weren't you? I mean, because you practice on your garage when you grow up, and this is the way guys should shoot the ball. 83%, 83, 85%.
It was the only time I got to take shots was at the free throw line. The other time I had to pass it, so of course that's what I worked on.
I said when we come in on the break, I want to talk more about the guards. I wanted to give you a hard time, but I guess I can't because there's 16 teams, and those all-conference teams are so hard to pick because someone's going to get left off. There's Kevin Jones playing tough inside, getting the offensive rebound, but the whistle and the foul goes against Marquette. But I did want to say that it's funny. You said that on the website about you can't put them all on, but Hazel and Dar Tucker, they're number 2 and 3 scoring in the Big East, and they weren't on your list at all.
It's incredible. I mean, you feel bad when you try to put together a list, and you're really splitting hairs and trying to pick out certain qualities of certain guards that you want to put in there. You know, beyond Hazel and Tucker, those are 2 great players. There's plenty of other guys. Dominic Jones is a great player at South Florida. We're watching Ruoff. Look at that block.
Dwight Burke says, get this stuff out of here. The senior from St. Benedict's Prep.
Burke's got to watch it. He was taunting a little bit after this block, but reason to celebrate. Left-handed.
Nice sized crowd here in the Bradley Center. I guess that's nothing new though, right, Mike? I mean, they always draw very well here.
They certainly do. Very enthusiastic crowd.
Since 1988, they've drawn 4.5 million fans. The only non-football school to rank in the top 20 in attendance. 6 on the shot clock now for West Virginia. They're way outside. 2-1 Thomas. And it almost went down for Thomas, but I'm not sure if he's the guy that they want to shoot in the basketball.
And that's a foul they didn't need.
And Ruoff is in their face right now saying, think. That's 4.
Okay, Marquette already a great ball pressure defensive team. I mean, they're great at really pressuring you. And now West Virginia, we saw them in their last possession trying to play without 2 of their better ball handlers. Struck Bryant's on the bench and Deshaun Butler's on the bench. It's almost impossible. I mean, I give West Virginia credit. They've stayed close playing without Butler in this second half because of that great ball pressure that they're facing.
Here he comes. Great timing on your part.
Well, I mentioned trying to get to the 8-minute mark. I mean, he picked up his 4th foul just a minute or 2 into the second half, and I said if they can get under 8, that would be an accomplishment. They've done that now. They are down 6, a chance to go down 7 if McNeil makes this, but certainly within striking distance.
Knocks down both. 6 20-point games, as I said earlier. He's got 18 now. Seven minutes to go.
West Virginia works with the basketball. They can't get too far out.
Ebanks. Here's Deshaun Butler, first touch since coming off the bench. Inside, nice look. Missed the shot. Thurman had a chance. Rebound. Pulled down by Burke.
Oh, Thurman's done so much for West Virginia in the second half. But that was a no-footer that they really needed.
Inside 6.5 minutes to go. Ballin. How about that stutter step? Doesn't go.
Oh, that's
Foul
it
goes against Deshaun Butler. He goes down hard. But as Mike said, the call goes against him. Bob Huggins now will greet him over at the bench. He's gone with 16, all in the first half.
That is huge. That is a huge blow for West Virginia, not only for the scoring aspect, but the ball handling aspect.
He's trying to explain to Ruoff that he went up for the rebound and someone actually grabbed his arm. What are you going to do?
Take a look. Butler gets beat baseline. You mentioned a great play.
Oh, a little push, little tiny push there on the shoulder.
Well, you hate to see it. 16 all first half points. He maybe got 2 minutes of total minutes in the second half.
If that. 16 points, 5 rebounds, heads over to the bench. And Burke is back at the line.
Well, nobody's going to feel sorry for you right now. If you're West Virginia, you got to figure out a way to score without Deshaun Butler. Truck Bryant on the bench as well. You know, he's got 1 assist and 4 turnovers, no points.
Other scores, Louisville and Villanova going at it in the second half. Coming up at 2 o'clock, Notre Dame looking for their 45th straight win at home.
How about that Providence score, 33-25. Keno Davis really has got those guys playing well. 3-0, chance to go 4-0 for the first time.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now, you just called their game. What are they doing so well?
Oh, they spread the floor so well, and they take a ton of threes. Really, it's hard to duplicate what they do in practice because teams just don't shoot that freely from beyond the arc.
Well, West Virginia came in with 95 threes. They could use a couple right now. 57-48, they trail. Outside touch. A little bit too strong. Dominic James pulls down the rebound.
This is danger zone right now for West Virginia. They're down 9. They've got to get some stops and get some points as well.
Marquette averaging 81.4. Notre Dame 81.8. That's how close it is in the Big East as far as putting points on the board. Here they are with 57. But with the lead. McNeil coming off the screen. Running up. That's a 3. He's got 21.
I tell you what, this Marquette team is fun to watch. They play so well together. Dominic James finding his fellow senior for the 3.
And he is loving it, looking at the Marquette crowd with a big smile on his face. Little chest bump. Marquette on a 9-0 run over the last 3 minutes to open up the 12-point lead, 60-48. Let's take another look at it.
Well, Glee, you talked about how great these guys are at sharing the basketball. In fact, before the 3 went up, I was going to commend Thurman for doing a great job staying in front of Dominique James, but you stop one and there's another one coming. Nice job, Jarrell McNeil, just hunting the shot on the perimeter, being ready to shoot as soon as he gets it, and then burying the 3.
You know, it's impressive. This Marquette team, they don't live and die by the 3. But you had mentioned the fact they were 1 for 10 in the first half. But they're not shying away. They're still taking them.
What Buzz Williams talks about on the 3-point shots is he likes to get paint touches. He wants his guys to drive, get in the lane, and then they can kick it out for 3. What he doesn't like is when they take quick threes, they don't work the ball down low. And now, while I don't say post touches, because Marquette doesn't have that low post presence that they want to feed it down to every time. You want to get a low post, low block touch. They don't have that. What they do have is great guards. So instead, they call it paint touches. They want to get in the lane, dribble in, and then kick it out.
I'm told now Bob Huggins over on the sidelines just was teed up. So the technical foul will put McNeil on the line. I'm glad you touched on that, Mike, because against Rutgers, they had 52 of their 81 points in the paint. But I'm glad you clarified that it's not necessarily post touches. So anytime a guard...
Paint touches, yes.
Anytime they get in that paint area, they keep charge of that.
That's the key to their success. And what's amazing is that, you watch that Villanova game when they beat Villanova here. Villanova knew what they were trying to do. Villanova even went zone for a while, trying to stop them from getting in the lane. And it's one thing to know what the other team's going to do. It's a whole other thing to try and stop it. And the talent of these Marquette guards is something that just overpowers you. You try to stop it, but you can't.
Wouldn't you be better off playing these guys zone?
I think a lot of teams will play some zone against them and just hope that maybe they're cold from the outside. It worked in the first half. West Virginia not playing zone necessarily, but packing it in similar to a zone.
Ruoff. That's a 3 for Alex Ruoff. He's been relatively quiet in the second half. He has 13 now. Came in with 210 career threes.
West Virginia going a long time, struggling to get some good looks, and then Ruoff buries that, and you go, this game isn't over yet. You got some streaky shooters.
Hayward. James, nice arc, doesn't go. And the foul goes against Thurman. So Thurman continues.
Nope, I think that's
goes
Hayward.
Against Hayward. So Hayward picks up number 2.
Well, this is how it starts. If you take the anatomy of a comeback, it starts with some 3-point shooting. Ruoff buried it. They get a stop, and then they go to the free throw line. No time coming off the clock, and a chance for West Virginia to score and set their defense.
Thurman now.
Needed that.
Needed the shots. He has 4 points off the bench, but he's worked as hard as anybody out there, I'll tell you that. James, open shot, might as well take it, misfires. How do you improve your outside shot? I don't know, repetitions, practice, but there's got to be a way to get better.
It's all repetition, and the best outside shooters have the most consistent strokes. You watch guys that are great at it, it looks the same no matter if they're coming off screens, if they're just catching and shooting, if they're dribbling and pulling up. Their shot, once they leave the floor, is always the same.
Flowers turns. But it sounded like they took the air out of the ball on that one as it hit the flange. So Dominique James, basically his long-range shooting, and he laughed at Big Ten Media Day saying he knows that his outside shot is not his strength, but his shot is not always consistent. It's a little bit different each time.
Well, I think the one thing that works against him, he's got like a 40-inch vertical. He's such a great athlete. He jumps very high in his outside shot. And you see him when he's in rhythm, that outside shot is really rolling. He's got some pure threes like that NC State 3 to win the game. But at times, if he floats a bit, it gets him off rhythm.
How about that? They found Hayward drifting deep into the corner. He had 2 points at halftime. He says, you know what? It's time for me to stroke a 3. He's got 5.
He's due. Got to get his.
That's one thing that's impressive about this team, though, Mike, is Hayward. You look down, he's averaging 16.6. He had 2 points, but, hey, no big deal.
Hey, it's just about every halftime of a Marquette game where you can say, wow, this guy is getting all the points, and this guy isn't scoring like he's used to. That's just because there's only one basketball out there. There's 4 guys that can score. But that time, Dominique James, great job, dribble penetration, drawing the defense, kicking it out.
Well, Buzz Williams saying that he probably has a unique opportunity. These three seniors, there's been other three seniors on other rosters, but he doesn't think he'll ever see three seniors as far as leadership like these three guys.
Well, he'd be fortunate to get another three seniors like these guys. They are so great, and what I love about them is their feel for the game. These guys know how to play. Not only are they great talents, but they know how to play.
Well, Dominique James, of course, could, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, could become the all-time leading scorer here. He came 160 points shy of George Thompson's scoring record, averaging about 11 points a game. And you know what, Mike? I was sitting in my hotel room trying to calculate it. Not great on math, but if he keeps averaging about 11, he could set the record against Syracuse right here on the last regular season game.
Wouldn't that be something? For selfish reasons, we like to see it.
And we'll be here. That's right. That'll be the Big East game of the week. And there's another call. It's another tee. Bob Huggins said, wait a minute, I didn't say anything.
I'm not sure if this is Huggins or just on the bench, though.
Jim Burr, Joe Lindsay, John Gaffney. They've already teed up Bob Huggins. Jim Burr now trying to explain things, or at least hear Coach Hugg's side of the story. They're going to sort things out, so we're going to take a timeout with 3:26 to go. Marquette opening up a 64-51 lead of the Mountaineers.
We all know the importance of exercise, but recognize the harm it may cause joints. So ThermoSpa's designed the Aquasizer, the deepest hot tub in the world with a powerful current that allows you to jog, walk, row, and follow a series of exercises to tone virtually every muscle in your body, all within a low-impact water environment where you control the water pressure and temperature. The Aquasizer is also an elegant 7-person hot tub, designed to be installed either indoors or out. Now, can you think of a better way to end your workout than with a full body massage? I can. To learn more about ThermoSpa's complete line of hot tubs, exercise spas, and swim spas, call for your free DVD and catalog. Call today, and we'll include a gift coupon for free delivery and installation. ThermoSpas offers many features found on no other hot tub. Why? Because it's not just a hot tub. It's a ThermoSpas.
Available on DVD now. Discover the critically acclaimed film.
It was everybody else, and then there was us.
About basketball's unknown legends.
I was going to rise above that.
Who changed the game forever.
There was a new game in town called integration.
When you throw the ball up, we all equal. You just got to have a dream. You got to hold on to the dream.
Over an hour of bonus features. Own the 2-disc collector's edition today.
Ford's Employee Pricing Plus has been extended through January 12th. It's the final days to pay what we pay on every Ford car, truck, SUV, and crossover. Plus, get up to $6,000 cash back now through January 12th. And you can count on Ford credit for the financing you need. It's your last chance to get employee pricing, plus up to $6,000 cash back, or 0% financing on many of Ford's best-selling vehicles. It all ends January 12th.
Today's Big East game has been brought to you by Virtual Wallet from PNC. Visit pncvirtualwallet.com. And we're back in the Bradley Center. The number is 64-51. There was no technical foul called. What happened was Bob Huggins counting the players, and I think John Flowers was down on the end of the bench, and it looked like he was standing in the court. The officials thought they had 6 players on the floor, but they only had 5.
I think that's exactly what happened. Interesting to see a technical reverse. You don't see that too often. See a lot of people pleading their cases, but how about that, a reversal?
Well, he said Jim Burr was listening to Bob Huggins' side of the story, and
they got it right. That's the most important thing.
As they usually do, right?
Yep. I tell you what, it is amazing how good these refs are. Of course, they are evaluated, coached after every game, always working on their skill as well.
Jim Burr, Joe Lindsay, John Gaffney wearing the striped shirts and blowing the whistles and making those calls here from Milwaukee. As we're inside 3.5 minutes now as Marquette tries to extend that winning streak to 7. They travel to Providence next week. West Virginia steps outside the Big East. They'll take on Marshall. And of course, next Saturday we'll have the Big East game of the week with South Florida in Morgantown. Here come the Golden Eagles, spreading their wings. Another bucket McNeil.
They score so quick. Tough to defend. Got to get back, got to face up.
That's amazing, Michael. During this 6-game winning streak, what he's shooting 56%, 58% from 3. That basket looks kind of big when they're feeling it like that. Outside touch doesn't go. That's D. Proby.
It's a three-point shooting, I think, for McNeil that has really allowed him to take the next step as a player. And you remember back to last season, their last game against Stanford, he had a great game, over 30 points in it. And you saw the offensive side of his game come around. You know, they call him Nick Steele because he's a great defender. But now he's added that great confidence, the great outside shooting, and it makes him the all-around player. That's why I list him among my top 5 guards in the Big East.
He's versatile. Nice look inside Hayward. He's fouled by Proby. Proby's the 6'10", 240-pound junior, the junior college transfer. That big presence that Bob Huggins needs inside, but just hasn't had the time to progress yet.
I tell you what, it never gets old watching great passing. You watch these guys out there. As a former player, it is so fun to play with guys that see the floor, that see their teammates, and just a natural reaction to yell out good look when you see a great pass like that.
So Marshall coming up, and then it's the Bulls on the Big East game of the week at Georgetown. Pittsburgh doesn't get easy, does it?
You know, there is no 5-game stretch in this conference that's going to be easy. It doesn't matter what you look at for an upcoming schedule. Everybody's got probably the toughest portion and then maybe the softest portion, but there are no 5 games you can look at and say, well, you know, we're going to get these wins. You just don't have that going on the road. We've seen some upsets already. They are going to happen.
Well, Jim Calhoun, though, after the 61-55 win in Morgantown, said that was the hardest game they've played all year. They had wins over Wisconsin and Gonzaga, but he said, if you think you have a Bob Huggins coach team put away, you are dead wrong.
I credit West Virginia. I thought they did a nice job in that game of controlling the pace, gave themselves a chance to win. That is a very good UConn team, and a tough matchup as well with the beat down low at 7-3. That's just a tough matchup for West Virginia.
Roth, air ball. That's rare. A lot of energy. Dominique James. No sign of fatigue, regardless of how many minutes they have to play. He's got 14.
End-to-end, they transition as well as anyone in the country.
Minute 37 to go, and now they're getting the standing ovation here inside the Bradley Center. Baseline. Nice move. Ebanks. You know, it's funny, New York players get all that publicity. Ebanks says, well, they're tough, doesn't necessarily make a good player.
Yeah, pretty grounded. I like to hear that comment about, you know, just because they're from New York, maybe you're tough, but that doesn't necessarily make you great. Obviously, that's a kid who knows he's got his game to work on.
It's not where you come from, it's how hard you work, he says. I got a funny feeling they're going to be working hard in practice. McNeil splits the defense, takes a trip down the lane. He's now got 26 in the game.
Now, how often do you see it, Mike? When a home team gets on a roll, they get the crowd behind them. I think that was the story of this second half. Marquette, their pressure defense, and then riding the momentum. This crowd got into it. They started to knock down some outside shots. Of course, the foul trouble for West Virginia. Deshaun Butler gets fouled out of this game. Picked up his 4th early, sat for a long time, comes back in, gets his 5th, and I think that just spelled defeat for West Virginia.
You really appreciate the importance or how big it is. That's what Bob Huggins was saying coming in. He says, hey, we've got one senior. They've got 3. And all 3 might wind up being in the top 5 in scoring by the end of the day.
Well, you just have to give Marquette so much credit for the way they stuck with their game plan. The first half did not go as they wanted, did not shoot the ball well, but they stuck with it in the second half. That great ball pressure led to some easy baskets, and that was the difference in the game. And then, of course, as I said again, the foul trouble. This West Virginia team plays physical, but Butler picking up some silly fouls, got himself on the bench, and they weren't able to overcome that.
And Deshaun Butler hits the big 3 at the half as West Virginia took the lead at halftime. But your thoughts on the second half of this ball game now?
Well, I thought it was a nice job by Marquette. As I said, they got good looks. I thought Wesley Matthews was key early on, playing with a lot of confidence, getting in the lane, hitting some shots. He didn't score in that first half, so he came on strong. And then Jarrell McNeil did a great job. Dominique James, his defense is really a key for this Marquette team. He does a great job pressuring the ball.
McNeil has 26, Matthews 13, James 17. Once again, the final score is 75-53 Marquette. A reminder to catch more exciting action on the Big East Network tomorrow as St. John's takes on #1 Pittsburgh. Join us next Saturday for the Big East Game of the Week when South Florida battles #22 West Virginia. For more information on ESPN Plus, log on to ESPNplus.com. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of the Big East Conference and ESPN Regional Television, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports. For Mike Kelly, Mike Gleason from Milwaukee saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Check out my advanced bundle from AT&T. It comes with UVerse TV and a total home DVR. I can record 4 of my favorite shows at once on one DVR in there and watch them in here.
Right. So now it's a teleportation device with shows flying through the air. You must think I'm a...
Call now for an advanced bundle that gives you UVerse TV with total home DVR included, high-speed internet, and new digital home phone service for only $30 each per month for a year.
This is awesome. I can personalize my sports traffic and weather here and see it on my TV.
What's your computer as a projector? You're a scream. Wow. Whoa.
Call now for this advanced bundle and get these 3 services for only $30 each per month for a year.
Each service is only $30 a month for a year.
Yep, and AT&T UVerse connects my TV, internet, and digital home phone service. I can pull up my call history on my TV or PC.
You're giving me comedy gold. You should do stand-up, really. Hit me.
The new AT&T, your world delivered.
To you and me, it's just a ping pong ball with a letter and a number on it. But to thousands of children in southeastern Wisconsin, it's so much more. To date, the simple ball from the Miracle Games at Potawatomi Bingo Casino has raised over $7 million for nearly 300 charities. Miracles do happen. Thank you for helping us impact the lives of future generations. A simple bingo ball. It's a lot more powerful than it looks.
They say there are no silly questions. Stupid answers, 200. But plenty of silly answers.
What is the capital of Connecticut?
Delaware. And there's more where that came from.
What was the first movie in which we met the character Indiana Jones?
Temple of Doom.
The Temple of Doom.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Watch Jeopardy at 3.
Pick up those signaling devices. You're going to use them.
Followed by Trivial Pursuit America Plays at 3:30.
The show that lets you at home get in the game.
Weekdays on WMLW. Family Feud. Weeknights at 7 on WMLW.
We're here today to give you a little wake-up call.
No matter how many times you tell them.
Ma'am, and I know the game, and you know the game, too.
Some people
What's wrong with you?
never learn.
I have no idea, Your Honor.
This is craziness.
Take a lesson from WMLW.
Go sue your brother, not your mother. You got the wrong family member.
We take more time to pick out a house than we do to sit down and decide how we're going to raise our children.
Weekdays starting at 9
Get a life.
on WMLW.
Maaco paints over 500,000 cars every year, more than anyone else. And no one gets you back faster. Maaco, America's body shop.
And now, back by popular demand, Maaco's having the sale you've been waiting for. Bigger and better than ever. Maaco's popular presidential service is now half price. That's right, half price. Now only $249. Come in today and save big. But remember, this sale is for a limited time only, and you don't want to miss it. Our presidential paint half price sale now only $249. Visit your Maaco today.
The People's Court with Judge Marilyn Millian.
I think it's amazing to be the presiding judge on People's Court in its 25th year.
There's what you say, and there's what you say, and now there's the truth.
I think the reason for People's Court longevity is that it's real.
You ruined the relationship with your sister. I don't know how many siblings you guys have or you can spare one, but I can't.
25 seasons. A million reasons to watch.
Weekdays at noon on WMLW. We now join our regularly scheduled programming already in progress.